Welcome to the Rent Success podcast, the only podcast entirely dedicated to helping you achieve rent success. We talk about the ethical way to get you started in property without buying it. This is our place to inspire each other to believe bigger, to be bolder, and to be game changers for good. Property investors and sisters Stephanie and Nicky Taylor are your guides on this exciting ride. Let's start up the engines and get ready to fly. Hello. It's Stephanie here. Welcome to episode 38 of Ask the Angels, where we answer your rent-to-rent questions. And if you'd like to talk to us live, join us on Clubhouse. Clubhouse is the new social media audio-only app where you can listen in and we can have a chat together. At the moment, we're meeting Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. So check it out, renttosuccess.com/clubhouse to add the upcoming dates to your calendar. And you'll also be able to listen to recordings of previous dates there as well. Today, I have a question from Alan, and it's about insurance and rent-to-rent. Here's Alan's question. How does rent-to-rent work with insurance, etc.? Is the owner of the property still liable? So what I'm going to do here is talk about insurance for each rent-to-rent property you manage. You'll also need to know about insurance to have for your rent-to-rent business as a whole. And I talked about everything you need to be compliant in rent-to-rent in episode 9 of the podcast. And you can listen at renttosuccess.com/9 for episode 9. For each property you take on as the rent-to-rent company, you will need the following insurance, which is one type, which is contents insurance. So you will need contents insurance for your contents for each property you manage on a rent-to-rent basis. The owner of the property will need buildings insurance because that's applicable to all property owners. They need building insurance. And then the owner of the property may also need contents insurance if they have items at the property to insure. So that's if applicable. They'll need buildings insurance. That applies to all property owners. And they may need contents insurance if the property owner has contents at the property to insure. And finally, your housemates in the property will also need contents insurance for their own contents, for their own possessions. So in summary, yes, the owner of the property will still require insurance for their property. We as rent-to-rent business will also need insurance for each property we take on, and the housemates will also need to insure their possessions. And remember that in addition to this insurance for each property, you'll also need insurance for your business, and you can find out more about that in episode 9 of the podcast, renttosuccess.com/9 for episode 9. And of course, if you're in the Rent-to-Rent Kickstarter program with us, we've got all this broken down step by step for you in M3.10. And along with all the other steps you need to take, and also all the providers we use who are rent-to-rent specialists. If you're a beginner in rent-to-rent, or if you're just interested, maybe you're already doing rent-to-rent and you're interested in the full 6-step system, what the process is, how we got started, what it looks like before and after. It's all in our free Rent Success Masterclass and Guide, and you can get that at renttosuccess.com/guide. Okay then, until next week, have a great rest of the week, and remember, believe bigger, be bolder, be a game changer. Thank you so much for being with me here today. If you would like more, we've written the #1 best-selling book on rent-to-rent. You can find it at renttosuccess.com/book. Reviewers on Amazon have described it as the best rent-to-rent HMO book and also as a definitive reference guide and inspirational. Take your next step today and buy the book. You can find it at rentsuccess.com/book. And I'll see you again next time. Until then, remember, believe bigger, be bolder, be a game changer.